In 1925, a group of men who had made a sand green golf course on the Myers pasture south of Clay Center decided they would start a country club. The Clay Center Country Club was started by about 50 men. The first board was made up of Walter Slingsby, Otto Swallow, Ed Bennett, and Leif Myers was the secretary. The ground was rented from the Myers family, and the clubhouse was built. 1935 and 36 found that due to poor economic years and the loss of membership, the country club went broke. The land in the building reverted back to the Myers family, and the golf course was used as a pasture. The clubhouse stood empty, and cattle used the basement for shelter. By the 1940s, the state of Kansas bought the right-of-way of the Highway 15 from the Myers. 1945-1946, the new holding corporation of the Clay Center Country Club was formed, and board members were B.R. Vergez, President, C.H. Peterson, Vice President, Frank D. Oberg, Secretary, D.E. McIntosh, Sr., Treasurer, and Bert Sorum, Foster Smith, and Ellie Woodburn. 54.77 acres were purchased from Mrs. Clara Myers on February 1, 1946, at a cost of $125 per acre for a total of $6,846.25. The holding corporation was formed to purchase land and to build and expand in the future. To lease the Clay Center Country Club to another organization or individual to be run only as a country club and golf course, and to hold all permanent buildings and grounds as so, in quotes, due to any future bad management of poor financial years, the club grounds and buildings would never be lost again.
My name is Buford Rook. I joined the country club in 1960. But my folks were members when I was in grade school and high school.
My name is George Gregory. I joined in 1969.
My name is Bruce Wingard, and I joined this club in March of 1966. And I did so at the request of my intended wife. We got married in May of that year, and she said she wouldn't marry me unless I joined the club.
My parents joined, they were members in the 50s, and I told you the dues were $35 a year. This country club has been part of my life. I learned to square dance. Viola Shepherd there was about 10 of us, about the same age, and we could invite one guest and have them out to the country club, and they taught us how to square dance, and then taught us ballroom dancing. And of course, there was just one membership. That was membership of the country club. And at that time, it was a bottle club, of course. We didn't have a bar with setups and stuff. Everybody had a liquor locker downstairs of the old thing, and you had your little locker, and you kept your bottle in there. And we'd give the bartender our bottle, and then he'd fix drinks out of it and keep it up there until we left. I went on the operating board in 1971, and the operating board, we buy our bottles, and there was a member, Lorne Law, real estate agent. He was a member, but never drank. And he had a liquor locker. So the operating board we bought our booze together, and we put it in Lorne Law's liquor locker. So when we had an operating board meeting, we'd go to a Lorne Law's bottle, have a drinks.
Lorne Law.
Yeah, Lorne Law. That's of the old bar downstairs. And it was red leather, and it was a neat old bar, and it was little.
So when you had dances, were the dances
upstairs?
Upstairs in the dining room area.
And then you had to come downstairs to the bar to get a drink?
Yep.
And what happened when you go out to eat, you go down to the bar, and then whoever was bartender, you tell them what you wanted to eat, and they'd phone up, and then they'd phone down and says, okay, your meal's ready. And then you go up the stairs
Right.
for your meals.
Right.
And I remember back then, we said we dressed up, had coat and ties. The waitresses always had uniforms on. They'd have skirts on and frilly shirts, and they were dressed up too.
Right.
And I remember Mary Fritz and Mary Hay managed the club for a long time. Mary Hay would really train her waitresses, and they knew what they were doing. It really had changed from when I was in high school and then when I started coming out. And I came out in 1960, and I was really interested in the club and the golf course, although I didn't play golf. And I came out with Mort Cree, and he was looking after things. And Mort, we have two people to thank, as far as I'm concerned, to thank for our country club, being our country club today. And that's Mort Cree and Walt Lips.
So Mort, was he the groundskeeper?
Mort Lips was an insurance agent, and he was, yes. He really put the grass greens in.
Okay.
He laid it out. And
Lips?
Walt Lips was president of the operating board.
President. Okay.
And he was president for at least 12 years. I know he was in 67, and when I went on the operating board in 71, he was still president.
So if it started as a social thing, when did the golf side pick up?
Golf side picked up when it started interest in 65, 66, and then Mort Cree and said, let's put grass greens in. And went to the operating board, and Walt Lips says, okay, let's do it.
It was sand?
It was sand before that.
Sand.
I did look up, when I was a senior in high school, my class, 1957, won the state sand golf state meeting. I didn't play golf, but two of my friends
Right.
were on the team. And golf started in 1954, high school golf. Walt Lips and Mort Cree and 5 or 6 other guys, they always came out here on Sunday morning, and they called it Sunday school. And they would open the bar up themselves and drink out here. There was about 7 or 8 of them that did that. And they did it for several years. Couples Bridge, and they also had, I'm going to say, contract bridge. They had 2 sets of bridge things.
Okay.
And bridge, and they played a lot of poker. Men played a lot of
A lot of
poker.
poker.
Oh, okay.
There was a downstairs, and we go in the locker rooms and play poker. And the other thing I remember, in the 70s, there was 5 or 6 of us would meet out here at 5 o'clock and play liar's poker.
Downstairs of the old clubhouse, when the east door opened, everybody just turned their head to see who was coming out. And they would dress up fit to kill. Leo Larson was the greatest. He always dressed up to kill.
He always
Wore a tie,
diamond stick pin.
Yeah.
And he always wore cufflinks.
cufflinks.
And you didn't come out and eat at the country club without a coat tie on.
Yeah, that's about the way everybody came out, was that way.
There were several women. I can mention some: Viola Shepard, Florence McVeigh, Summers,
Wasn't Lois Walker
Mary
one?
Catherine?
Huh?
Sumner?
Lois Walker?
Lois Walker.
Yeah.
Mary Ballbaum?
yeah.
Bessie Mae McIntyre?
There were several ladies that played. In fact, I really kind of think the ladies were more interested in it back then than the men were when it come down to it, because they didn't have tournaments, they didn't have any competition or anything like that. And
They played for fun.
I can remember some guys that get too much to drink, and they want to bet how far they could hit a golf ball, and they come out here at 12 o'clock at night and see how far they could drive it, and that kind of thing. We started out men's golf. Remember, everybody played at 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock, yeah.
And we started off and shotgun off, and everybody ate at the same time.
Yeah.
And we'd eat out on that porch, that long porch.
Yeah.
And there would be a lot, I don't know how many, there were 60 people?
60, I'd say, yeah.
Yeah. But we all ate at the same time.
Yeah.
Well, then during the times after we built the club here, well, everybody just goes off and plays, and so nobody eats together very much. But it was closer.
Yeah.
It was a closer knit.
Close knit, yeah.
Yeah.
Up there. And back then, you played with different people all the time.
Right.
And you got to know different people.
Right.
Yeah. There was 131 members when they started the club up in 42 or 43, and they put $100 a piece in for stock. That's how they started the club up again after it would bankrupt.
Right.
And out of those 131 members, in 1977, there was only 30 of that stock people lived in Clay Center. The other member of the stock was living all over because it left it to their children, and their children could have. And so we reorganized and said, okay, to be a member of the country club, golfing member, you had to have 5 shares of stock. Okay, people that had 1 share of stock had to buy 4 more, and they could be long members. Now, I was one that had I had 1 share of stock. And so I had to buy 4 at that point in time. And there were several of that, 70 people that donated their stock to the holding board. And we bought some back. It wasn't all that many, probably 10, 12 that we bought back for $100 and paid them that. Then we reorganized and we sold new stock. And that's when everybody had to get 5 shares. Okay, that's when we changed the rules. That's when we had a golfing membership, family golfing, single golfing, social.
Right.
That's when we changed that thing over.
Let's see, some memories about the old house. I served 6 years on the operating board in those days. And one of my jobs was to get both of the toilets in the men's room to work at the same time. And I never could do that. I mean, because they just broke.
You failed.
That's right. If you got one going, the other one wasn't going. But anyway.
We were getting crowded. The only golf carts out here, sheds, where there were 6 to the south here, and there was 6 running east and west. We had 12 golf carts. Well, people want to get golf carts. And so we built golf cart sheds way down yonder, that old ones down there. Well, then, still needed more. So we came up with the idea, the holding board, we had the money to build it. Our golf cart shed out here, 1990, I think, or 91.
In the 90s.
Build the ones upstairs here,
Yeah.
the top and bottom.
It was 45 below and 48 down, or something like that. But anyway, after that was built, then, okay, we thought we had to remodel the old house, old country club, because it was getting really run down. So I formed a committee of 45 people, and I asked Chuck Stewart, the chairman, and he says, my God, you can't have a committee with 45 people on it. I said, yeah, Chuck, we have to. This design came from one of the K-State architectural students. And we put it out for bids, and we had 3 bids on it. And Odinger Lloyd had built a golf cart shed. And so we wanted Odinger Lloyd to build this club. Well, the operating board, we made a deal with the operating board. If they would let us have the rent off of the new golf cart sheds, it would help pay for a new building. I think you'll have, most older members will agree to this, that the two-board system has saved our club. 78 when we joined, and everybody that are golfing memberships, they own the country club. I mean, I don't know how many members there are right now. I can tell you there was 208 when we built this building, golfing members.
We always had a cook who lived in the building.
Oh, they lived in the building.
Yes,
Upstairs.
upstairs.
So that was part of their compensation?
Yes.
Wow.
And when I joined, Jack Keller was the cook. I can remember on a weekend, people didn't eat till 8:30, 9 o'clock, 9:30 at night on a Saturday night. It was a lot different than it is now. I think people drank more and drank more freely.
Was there only a dance on a special holiday, or was there a dance every Saturday night?
No.
Or, no,
It was a special
thing.
We had members that donated so much towards this club. We had members that gave us cash money. We had people that donated furniture. People that donated chandeliers. People that donated a front door. They just buy certain things on it.
Right.
And membership really is good. That's what kept our community together.